So, first of all, hi. I don't know if you can see me, yeah. I just got the NTS-4 from Korg. You probably heard about that, the live performance mixer. It's a big box, as you can see. It's quite heavy, which I think almost feels like an Tamiya car. And honestly, the process will probably be also. So I will try to film as much as I can about the build. I'm not so sure how professional it will be, but there will probably be two videos. One is the construction video, one is the usage, where I will try to compare it to the Micro Audio 722 and the 22. I bought this device myself, so there is nothing affiliated in this. I bought it for about 1480 Chinese yuan, CNY, because I am here in Beijing, which is about 190 or 94, 93 euros if you calculate it. I looked at the website for Thomann.de, and I know it's about 219 euros currently in Europe. So I think I have a deal. So let's see. I haven't opened the box. I have no clue. So bear with me. We'll see. There it goes. Nice box. Just pretty much like the other one. Let me put this picture like here. 4 stereo, 2 mono input channels. As I have seen and people talked about, 2 in, 2 out when you connect it to the computer, which I will probably also do in the other video as I mentioned. I will compare that to the Micro Audio, for instance, 2.2, like this one, which can connect to Android. So I will try to see if that is the case. So let's open the box and see what's inside and talk a little bit about what the device is and what it will. Okay, let me see here. Instruction manual. I'm not so sure how much I will use that. I will try to avoid doing that. So there's a top cover that comes off. Yeah, see, this is what I meant. This feels so much like a Tamiya car. Spruced with parts. Yay. So the print board itself, or the PCB, part of the case. Let's see if there's anything else in the box. So nope. So the box is empty now. So all is on the table. So first let me take out the housing. Yep, it's all metal. So pretty much the same as the other devices like the NTS-1. However, they use the PCB for construction. But on the bottom you can see the model, the serial number, and I got 220. Ooh, scratch it out. Ooh. So I'll put that to the side here. This is the front panel. Let me see what that looks like. Okay. Okay. So size comparison. I can't show my phone because my phone is currently in use, but you can see here it's pretty much the same size as the Micro Audio. Of course, it's much thinner. And if you see the end ports, will be. But you can see the size is almost the same. So, from a size perspective. So let's see. Yeah. So here. Oh, USB-C cable. Yay! Like I don't have enough of those. Drawer full here. More. Drawers full of those. I don't think they should include these anymore, especially because I can see this is short and this is what I suspected even. It's a C2A, so probably, and this is what I think is the case. The reason why they don't have more multiple in and out is because probably they have a bandwidth limit with USB, because it's not using USB-C, but probably USB 2 or 3. So let's see. Yay. Let's consider this set doesn't need ball bearings, so in that regard they're slightly better off than a Tamiya car. Because they always cheap out and don't include it unless you take an expensive set. But you can see here, screws mostly contain knobs and stuff, so I did take a knife here just in case. And here, these are the screws. And oh nice, they included a tiny screwdriver. And that's something I didn't put here. I think I'll go get my own. So to open up the bag. Some nuts, some washers. You can not see that currently on the video, but I will show you. I'll slightly adjust it later. And there's a washer on the ground, but these are definitely for the plugs. See, a few washers. So I took some screwdrivers from the other room. I purposely don't take the best screwdrivers because I want to show off that it's perfectly doable with what you get in the kit, because this is what you get, but slightly better just in case. Yeah. Okay, anything else? So these are for the front panel, knobbies and more. Okay, oh yeah, yeah, these are probably for the buttons. Okay, so let's see. Let's take out the main PCB. Let's put the screws to the side. So I'll put the screws here so you can see. There's a set of screws. And there's a set of washers there. An on-off switch. 2 plastic lug nuts, and they are probably for the phono jacks for here, for the main out, and the actual PSB itself. There it is. And this does not use an IMX. This is what I thought it would be, but in this regard, it is much simpler than the micro audio, because in the micro audio is an IMX6, which is comparable to the actual one as a main processor being used in the micro Korg and the drum log. But as you can see here, focus. Let me see if I can force focus. So as you can see there, that does not seem to be the case here. Oh. Okay, interesting. So they're probably just using I2S for the analog to digital conversion directly from here, then do that in one of the others. I can't see it yet. I'll make a photo later to get a little bit more detail and share it with you. And then mix the channels, because here on the bottom you can see it's mostly coating. And a lot, to be honest. Yucky, bah, that's sticky. So anyway, yeah, so not much special. It's in that regard definitely not running log SDK as what a lot of people had hoped, because let's be honest, this is probably more towards in this case the NTS-3 Chaos pad and the NTS-1 in capability, so it can do effects, so which actually you would like to, but yeah, I think it would not be comparable to the micro audio, because that one could actually do way more, but I think it's underutilized. Okay, so let's see, where should we start? I thought not to use the manual, but let's see what they would suggest you to do first. And they start off with picture 1. That's the display. Okay. And then also they want me in step 2 in a way, put the switch and the phono jacks on. And this is why, this is very typical, just like in Tamiya fashion. They give you a tool to tighten it, which is actually quite nice. Which means therefore, this does not need to be taken care of in a way as if it's a component, but it's more a tightening tool. So, which is good. So I should have a different tool for that, but hey, as I told you, I would like to show you that it doesn't need that much. So that's the first one taken care of. And there's another tightening tool I see actually for the other jacks. I think for the top here, because there's a lot of lug nuts. So as you can see, so these are probably for tightening, and the big one. And then for the display, this is going to be all on the inside anyway, so this is not going to be very visible. So not going to be that important. So I don't really need to take care of the, how to say that, to remove the studs from the spruce. So let's see. This one goes in this way, as you can see, like this. Okay, so that will be like this. So let's take the film off first. Although a lot of people would like to keep that on because it keeps it clean, as they say, especially here in Asia. They have that. Wonder, does it need any tightening? Nope, not at all, because I think it's going to be press fit in that regard. It's going to be held in place by the other board. So therefore we move on to the phono jacks. Okay, and I think what happens is that this keeps that a little bit in place. Or not really. Interesting. Okay. So it's kind of loose. So these go on like this. Whoop, darn. And let's tighten them up. Reorient the camera a little bit, so as you can see here, so that part, and then you can tighten it up. Actually quite nice. I do appreciate that. So that's in tight, and it clamps just a little bit there. See, all wobbly and loose. This switch itself, does it have an orientation? No. Does it really matter? No, not really, but see, that's the switch. And then we're gonna have to get all the buttons and put them on top, and they go, as I mentioned already, on top of here. So it's gonna be interesting, but these are gonna be very simple. You twist them, twist them, and they come loose. They're number 4. Do they have any specific information about that? No, they don't say what is what. And then we have here same thing for the yellow ones or yellow greenish ones. So they don't really mention which color should go where, because I think you will only see the bottom part. But let's assume Q is gonna be the bottom one. That's what I will do. And mute is gonna be the red one. So all these go into the top. And this is very simple. These are standard switches. You can just pop them on top. So yay. So yeah, when they announced this device and they showed it, I believe it was NAM or whatever, we all started to talk about what it could be, and we were all super excited because it has effects. And then we found out they're limited effects in the sense of they're probably only 5, is it? I should see that on the box, but yeah, it's... So after putting in the phono jacks, you can see that this piece is still slightly loose, and this is why you need this one. Comes from the spruce, just like the other ones, and this actually goes on top of there to keep it slightly in place. Anyway, I think it's more for guiding the button. So let me put that one on top, so you can see here. There are cutouts here for at least the JSTs. JSTs is Japanese standard for solderless connectors. So that just drops in. If you want, you can put the connector in now, which I will. Darn. Be careful. Some of the soldering can be sharp, as you can see here. It is. And I just cut myself with the knife. So at least so. Hold it with my finger. So what you will do is crosswise, you put one here, take a nut, and then you take the slightly bigger one. If it doesn't fit well, you slightly turn backwards over the screw until you hear it click, and then you tighten it, and you do the same here at the top for one of the other connectors. And you can see this one, yeah, see, turn a little bit back, tighten it. And now at least I can let it go. So that's at least what I would do crosswise, so it's easier to handle. And you can see here there's a little bit of coloring from the buttons when you press them. So yeah, kits are fun. At least I think it's a little bit of a weird idea, Korg making these kits like the NTS-1, NTS-2, and NTS-3. I got the 1 and the 2, the original and the Mark II, and the Chaos Pad. It's kind of a novelty idea to call it a kit. You make it yourself, it feels like an IKEA thing, and therefore you feel more ownership and more pleasure in using it. I don't know. Saves maybe on cost, I don't know. I really don't know. To me, this does not feel like a kit. It's just tedious. Yeah. It's not like you, well, you could customize it, of course. You could use the PCB in a different casing or whatever if you really insist, but no. When I would talk about kit, I would say something like the Tamiya cars. I didn't own a lot when I was a kid. I had a Grasshopper and a Maru Course Mustang, the Bill Elliott car. Well, I have to say I did enjoy the Grasshopper a lot. My parents bought it. They also bought for themselves a Toyota Celica, one of those very wanted rare sets. Most people would like the Porsche, but I do like the Toyota. Great car. Rolls over so quickly. The body is so fragile, the Lexan. But it came with a technical motor, and that's definitely something that I put in my Grasshopper. You can see here. So one has to go on the outside because it's also on the top of the the housing. Well, they should be more indicative of that. I figured that on should be towards the outside. It's mostly, I wouldn't call it a convention, but it's kind of like an unwritten convention. But yeah, so I put the Technic hold in my Grasshopper, and it started to hop like mad. Fun car. Drove that a lot. So never owned a lot of RC cars. Of course, in Nico car, not comparable. Still quite fun. Still have it actually, to be honest. But yeah, I bought more when I was here. I bought a Pajero car, the Ford Escort, the rally model, mostly because the body was painted already and it's very cumbersome to paint. Don't have the time, don't really have the space here. I will not do that in the house. I can go to the parking lot, but yeah. I do like putting the kits together, but the thing is, I seldom actually really drive them, because the problem with driving them is there are a lot of kids here that show no respect for that, because they have no clue, and dogs that are walking freely, and dogs that walk freely see it as a toy and they start jumping on it and bite it. So no, I did drive in Tongkol Park here. It's not nearby anymore because I moved, but at least that's a place where we'll go. So as you can see, so now it's knob time, and these also, they come out very easily. You twist them a little and they come loose from the spruce. If you want, you can of course use a tool to make them better. See, because you can see here there's a small little, I'm not gonna do that now, I'm gonna do that later off camera, but it's more like showing that it can be done within a reasonable amount of time, and I would say within half an hour you should be done. If you take more time, it's just because you want to be careful, and I understand that. Still about 200 euros, right? Almost 1500 yuan. So knobs, you can see here there's a marking, so they can only go on one way, and I believe the knobs are all one knob anyway. Ooh, they go on very difficult. Oh my god. Yeah. Ooh, they're very tight. So they go on like this. Whew. That feels like exercise. And I think they have given extra knobs, which is not a bad idea, to be honest. Let me see. Are they different? Yeah, these are different. Oh, right, interesting. So then the question is, no, they should be same. Huh. Wow. Oh my god. Yeah. So they're all the same. Haha. I got almost got fooled. See, these are the level knobs. So only knobs for these. The smaller ones are like on the Volkers and such, and the drum log. They don't have any caps for those. So 2 at the end left. So now these can all go. Last bit, that's the housing. Any specifics for the way around, I think it should be like this. So the slanted side to the bottom. So far haven't needed to use any screwdriver, which is now, and I believe also here they gave 2 extra screws. I would suggest you to use your own screwdriver. Yeah. So that's almost 20 minutes in total, I think. Which you didn't notice, there was a small little screw up. Why the display felt loose, I had to put the other part in, but then again, it didn't really make it fit any better, so I don't think it would have mattered much. But so that's connected. And then the last thing we quickly try to do is we'll take the cable. Ooh, it's not even Korg branded. No, it's very OEM-y, very stock. Let me plug it in here. And let's see if the device turns on. Proof that it... I'm still filming, so you can see me do that. Yeah. So anyways, if you like this kind of stuff, you want me to talk about RC cars or such, subscribe to the channel and maybe buy me Patreon or coffee or whatever, and we can keep doing this, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I love RC cars, I love music, and I love showing and sharing this with you guys. So next step is I will hook this up, especially to the tablet here, which I have also. So you can see me. Hey, hi. Hook it up to Android to see if that will work. I expect so. If not, that's an interesting fact. And then hook it up to the drum log and rig roof, which is on the tablet. And let's see how it sounds. If the effects are any good. Yeah, okay. So bear with me. See you guys.